Hello, welcome to Royal Tutors. Just like we've done in time past, we've been picking questions, filtered questions from GCSE exam, and I personally have been working on Edexcel Foundation questions. I'm here again with a couple of questions I want us to look at. I picked them from different years, about 4, 5 marks for each of them, and I think they're important questions that we need to look at. All right, let's have the first one. Says Kazim has some small jars, okay? Some medium jars and then some large jars. Okay, he has a total of 400 jars. Okay, we are told that 3/8 of the 400 are empty. For the empty jars, the number of small to the number of medium is this, the number of medium to the number of large is this. Work out the percentage that Kazim's jar are empty. So let's try and pick them a step after the other. So the first thing to do is to identify that the total number of jars that we have is 400, and out of the 400, 3/8 are said to be empty. So number of empty jars, that will be 3/8 of the total. That's of 400. That's times 400. So if you calculate these, um you have 150 jars. So those are the empty ones. Now they gave us the ratio of the number of small jars to the number of medium, the number of medium to the number of large. Then they want us to find the percentage of Kazim's jar that are empty. So we need to check, okay? We need to write that ratio in a three-figure ratio. Let's start with number of jars. Let's try to represent them. We say number of small, like small jars, we represent it with S, then medium with M, and large with L. So this means number of small to the number of medium, that will be 3 to 4. The number of medium to the number of large, that's 1 to 2. So what I usually say is let's try and write it out clearly. You have S to M, 3 to 4, M to L, 1 to 2. So what we are trying to do is to find the ratio that connects the three of them, that is small to medium to large. So looking at these two ratios, what alphabet is common to them? M is common to them. And what ratio is attributed to M? On the first one, you have 4. Then for the second one, you have 1. What you need to do is to take this ratio, then uh, use it to multiply everything on this side. While you take this ratio to also multiply everything on this side. That means you're going to have SM, you are multiplying this guy by 1, and you are multiplying this guys by 4. So this will be 3 times 1, which is 4 times 1. Then this will be 1 times 4, ratio 2 times 4. Okay, so after you do this, you have 3 ratio 4, and then you have 4 ratio 8. All right. Looking at this now, you realize that the M that is common to both of them now have the same value. That means to write S ratio M ratio L is going to be 3. You pick one, just one of the, since the values are the same, then you have 8. So this is the ratio of the number of small jars. Because they said for the empty jars, this is how it follows. So the number of small jars to the number of medium to the number of large. Now the question says, work out the percentage of Kazim's jar that are empty. So the percentage of Kazim's jar that are empty small jars. This percentage is based on Kazim's jars, both empty and non-empty, not just the empty ones, both empty and non-empty. So what you need to do now is to find how many how many jars of Kazim's are empty that are small jars. Look at it here, empty small jars. So you want to find the number of empty. Don't forget we have in total 150 jars that are empty, and they are in this ratio. So for you to find number of small empty jars. That will be the ratio for small over the sum of the ratio. That's 3 plus 4 plus 8. That's 15. Multiplied by the number of empty jars, which is going to give us 30. So that means there are 30 small jars. So these 30 jars, they are small and they are empty. So for you to now get the percentage now, the percentage is going to be the number of those that are small and empty divided by the total number of jars, because this is based on Kazim's jars, not just Kazim's empty jars, right? Kazim's jars. So it's based on the total. That's over 400 multiplied by 100%. So if you do this, you're going to get 30 over 4%, which is 15 over 2. This is the same as 7.5%. So the answer is 7.5%. And you have your 5 marks. Yeah, the sequence is clear. Try to get the number of empty jars, try to get the ratio, try to get the number of small empty jars, then divide it by the total number and multiply it by 100%. So let's see the next question. Okay, to the next question, we have Andy, Luke, Tina share some sweets in the ratio of 1 to 6 to 14. Tina gives 3 over 7 of her sweets to Andy. Tina then gives 12.5% of the rest of her sweets to Luke. Tina says, now all three of us have the same number of sweets. Is Tina correct? So let's see. There is a number of sweets that has been shared, and it has been shared in the ratio of 1 to 6 to 7 to 14. So let's see. The first thing to do is to assume what the number of sweets is. So let number of sweets, and this is the total, be A. Right? If that is it, that means Andy is going to have the ratio for Andy over the total, the sum of ratio, that's 1 plus 6, which is 7 plus 14, multiplied by A. So that means Andy got 1 over 21 of the sweet, while Tina got 6 over 21, because what happens with ratio is that the number of sweet has been divided into 21 parts. One part of it is given to Andy. 6 parts of those 21 parts that has been shared into is given to Tina. Why it's given to Luke. Sorry, Luke. This is Luke. This is Luke. So why Tina got 14 parts of it. So 14 out of 21. Yeah. So Tina gives 3 over 7 over sweet to Andy. That means Tina gives. So let's see how much Tina gave this. Tina gave 3 over 7 of her sweet. 3 over 7 of her sweet. The number of sweet for Tina is 14 over 21 initially. So if you try to simplify this, 7 goes here 1 time, it goes here 2 times. 3 goes here 1 time, it goes here 7 times. That means Tina now has 2 out of 7 of A. Then let's move, or if we can actually leave it in a portion of 21, but okay, let's just leave it. We'll compare that later. Tina then gives 12.5% of the rest. The rest now, talking of 2 over 7, 12.5% of the rest to of our sweet to Luke. So when Tina gave 3 over 7 of our sweets to Handy, he gave 2 over 7A off. That means Handy has A over 21 plus the one given by Tina. If you do this addition, you have A over 21. If you try to change this one to a denominator of 21, you need to multiply numerator and denominator by 3, and that will be 6A over 21, and this is going to give you 7 over 21A. So that means Andy now has 7 over 21A. Now, for Tina, after Tina gave 2 over 7, remaining for Tina will be the initial value she had minus the one she gave away. You take away the one she gave away. So if you do this, you have 14 over 21 2 over 7, just like I did there, you have it as 6 over 7 over 21. Then when you do the subtraction, it gives you 8a over 21. So that means Tina has 8a over 21 left. Now, this that she has left, she gave 12.5% of it to Luke. So Tina to Luke, let me just put it here. To Luke now, Tina gave 12.5% of the remaining to Luke. 12.5%, that's talking about 25 over 2%. That's no percentage is always over 100 of 8a over 21. And this is saying 25 over 200 times 8a over 21, right? So this is 25 here goes one time here, it goes 8 times, then 8 here 1, 8 here 1. That means it gave 1 over 21a to Luke. So Luke would now have, so let me put this in brackets that we can understand the partition. That's what Handy has now, because we are going to come back to that. Luke now has, so Luke initially had 6 over 21 a plus what was given to Luke. So when you add them together, you get 7 over 21 a. So Luke now has 7 over 21 a. So I'm going to circle that. That's going to stand out. Now let's see how many sweets will Tina have left. So let's see. Tina originally had 14 over 21, but after giving 3 over 7 of it, she had 8 over 21. Now, out of that 8 over 21, she gave 1 over 21 to Luke. So if you do the subtraction, you have 7 over 21. Let's look at it now. Let's see Tina's claim. Tina says, now, all three of us have the same number of sweets. Is Tina correct? So Handy now has 7 over 21a. Luke has 7 over 21a. That's perfect. Tina as well has 7 over 21a. So is Tina correct? Yes. Tina is correct. And that's the answer. Then you have your 4 bars. Okay. Let's move to the next one. The diagram shows a triangle, okay, and a rectangle. Good. The perimeter of the rectangle is a quarter of the perimeter of the triangle. Work out the length of the rectangle. So let's see. We have two shapes. The perimeter of the triangle is going to be the addition of this. So let's do perimeter of triangle. That's going to be the addition of the sides. And this should give us 80 centimeters. Then the perimeter of the rectangle now. Perimeter of the rectangle is going to be addition of the sides as well. So if this is 4, this is 4. If this is length, this is as well length. So you have 4 plus length plus 4 plus length. And that's going to give us 8 plus 2 of the length. So now let's see the relationship between them. There's a relationship between the two perimeters. It says the perimeter of rectangle, which is 8 plus 2L, is a quarter of the perimeter of triangle. Yeah. So we can solve this now. A quarter of 80 is 20. So here you can subtract 8 from both sides. If you subtract 8 from both sides, you're going to have 2L equal to 12. Then you divide both sides by 2, you have L is equal to 6. So the length of the rectangle is 6 centimeters. That's it. Then you have your 4 marks. All right, let's see the next question. There are only red discs, blue discs, and yellow discs in a bag. There are 24 yellow discs in the bag. Mel is going to take out at random a disc from the bag. Probability that the disc will be yellow is 0.16. The number of red discs ratio, the number of blue discs is 5:4. Work out the number of red discs in the bag. Usually, when we have a lot of things going on in a question like this, I advise my students to always take it a step after the other. preferably a sentence or a paragraph after the other, right? I know there are a lot of things going on here. That shouldn't scare you off the question. So let's see. The first thing is that we have three colors. We have red disc, we have blue disc, and then we have yellow disc. So let's recognize that. That's red disc. We can call them R. Blue disc, we can call them B. And then yellow disc, we can call them yellow. Then Mel is going, okay, before that, he said there are 24 yellow discs. So number of yellow discs, we have 24 of them. Mel is going to take a disc at random. The probability that this disc is yellow is 0.16. Normally, if you want to find the probability of yellow, it should be the number of yellow divided by the number of total. That is the total number of discs you have there. So if this is it, that means number of yellow which was given is 24 over this, over the number of total, should give us 0.16. And 0.16, that should be 16 over 100. This means if you do like a cross multiplication, you will see that you have number of total is equal to 24 times 100 divided by 16. So let's see, 4 goes here 4 times, 4 goes here 6 times, 4 goes here 1 time, 4 goes here 25 times. So 6 times 25, that's 150. That means there are 150 discs in total in the bag. Okay, so let's see what's the next thing. We've done paragraph 1, we've done 2, we've done 3. Now the next thing is that the number of red disc ratio the number of blue disc is 5 to 4. So if you pick red ratio blue, it is 5 to 4. Right? Work out the number of red disc in the back. So if the total number of discs, if we have 150 disc and the number of yellow is 24, that means the number of red and blue, because once you take out the yellow, you have red and blue, or you say red or blue, say, all right? So the number of red or the number of blue is going to be 150 take away the 24. And that's going to be 126. So that means this 126 is what is being shared in this ratio, 5 to 4. So they want us to work out the number of red disc now. So number of red is going to be the ratio for red over the sum of ratio, which is 5 plus 4, multiplied by 126. Either you have 5 multiplied by 14, and that's going to be 70 red discs. That's it. You have your answer, and then you have your 4 marks. All right. 26, let's see. Says all angles are measured in degrees. Show that ABCD is a trapezium. Now, one of the ways that you can show that ABCD is a trapezium is to show that these two lines are parallel. And how do you show that they are parallel? Is by showing that these angles or this are supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. That's corresponding angles. All right. So the first step to this question now, let me take off this guy. The first step to this question, don't forget what we want to do is we want to show that AD is parallel to BC. With that, we can conclude that that is a trapezium. So the first thing is we need to find the value of x. And how do we find the value of x? If you pick each of the angles and you add them together, since it's a quadrilateral, that is, it has 4 sides, the addition of the angles should give us 360 degrees. Say quadrilateral angles. Make sure you put the reason there. So the addition of the angles is supposed to give us 360. That's how we get the value of x. So let's see, 2x to 4x, that's 6x. To 4x, that's 10x. To 3x, that's 13x. Then for the numbers, 15 plus 15, that's 30. Plus 8, that's 38. Minus 3, that's 35. So what you need to do now is to subtract 35 from both sides. So you have 13x is equal to 3. If you subtract 35, that would be 325. Yeah, 325 degrees. 325 degrees. So if you want to do 325 degrees now, you divide both sides by 13. Dividing both sides by 13, you should be able to get the value of x. That will be in 32, that's 26 to, yeah, 25 degrees. Yeah, x is 25 degrees. If x is 25 degrees, that means we can tell what each angle is. The first one here is 4x plus 15. That is 4 times x plus 15. If you do this with your calculator, you should have 4 times 25, that's 100 plus 15, it is 115 degrees. Then if you come here, 2 times 25 plus 15, that's 50 plus 15, that's 75 degrees. Then if you come here, 4 times 25 plus 8, 4 times 25, that's 100 plus 8 is 108 degrees. Then if you come here, 3 times 25 minus 3, that's 75 minus 3, that's 72. So what we need to do to show that BC is parallel to AD is to add together these two and see if it gives us 180. Is that true? Let's see. 115 plus sorry, this is supposed to be 65, not 75 here. That's a mistake. This is supposed to be 65. That's 50 plus 15. Yeah. If you add them together, this gives you 180 degrees. Good. If you add this together, this also gives you 180 degrees. Yeah, that's true. So this shows that. So once you do that, you just say this shows that. This shows that line BC is parallel to line AD. Therefore, ABCD is a trapezium. And that's it. Yeah. It shows that ABCD is a trapezium. So we are going to stop here today. In our next video, we are going to continue, obviously, still on Edexcel Foundation, filtered question. We're going to continue with that in the next video. Don't forget, you need to like, subscribe, and follow us each time we post videos so that you won't miss out on any video. A lot of good videos, educative ones are coming. I won't want you to miss out on them. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.